Over the past month, I've unofficially been on unintended hiatus. Online university with quarantine caused me to be overwhelmed with work and led to a brief case of burnout. But all that's behind me, and it's time to get back to work. I'm itching to ride again, but first I have a few housekeeping matters to attend to. Firstly, my corona cut has become unmanageable to the point that I've transcended young Justin Bieber and Coconut Head. Now it just flat out resembles an acorn after showers, and my hair is especially poofy. Now that our governor B-Kempy in his infinite wisdom decided to start opening up Georgia one night around 2 a.m. whilst playing Kirby Air Ride and drinking Surge, I can finally get a haircut. Despite the risk of infection, it has become a safety hazard for me, hindering things such as my driving visibility. With that taken care of, I decided to wash my knee pads, which is apparently a thing some people do. Yeah, well, it's first time for everything, I suppose. And to top off the beginning of riding season, after years of mountain biking, I finally ordered some proper mountain biking gloves. Crazy, I know, but you gotta treat yourself every now and then. Now that all my clerical work is out of the way, I can finally go ride. Except I seem to have forgotten something. All the trails are still closed. But I'm not going to let that stop me, though, and neither should you. Today we're going to be discussing how to mountain bike in urban areas. Perhaps the best way to do this is to grab a map of your local area and open a high-end photo editing software such as MS Paint and map out a few courses to function as pseudo trails. Even better is to find an elevation map and route downhill courses. Once your route is determined, you can enjoy one of the main benefits of riding in the city. You can shuttle yourself practically anywhere. I shuttled myself up to the top of a nearby parking deck as this was the highest point around where my pseudo trails were.
See, when you live in the mountains, just because the trails are closed doesn't mean you can't be in the mountains. And we're kind of mountain biking. So we're going to be riding around the town, but those are mountains over there. So like a 300 IQ play right there. All right, so we're starting at the top of this parking deck, which is pretty high up. It's honestly the highest point around this area. Oh, just kidding, we've got like 6 feet elevation right here. So here's the top of our first downhill run here. There's my truck, there's Travis way over there. This one is gonna go all over the place, but I'm gonna ride it to the lowest point that's near here. And one thing you're gonna notice is there'll be a lot of stairs on these runs because that simulates a lot of, downhill bike handling, I guess, and also stairs are just fun to ride. So here we go.
Alright, so we're starting off here going down these stairs, although, contrary to what I just said, that's actually all of the stairs for Route 1 here. I kind of just routed these pretty quickly because I'd run these routes before. A lot of times I don't have time to hit the woods, so I just gotta make do with what I got. And it's great during quarantine as well, and while not many people are here, you can just kind of ride without the fear of cars. I mean, this parking lot's completely empty. As you saw right there, I could have hit those other stairs, but I didn't. I wanted to get the grass going because, there's so much concrete in these city runs that you want to hit the dirt and off-road as much as possible, which is why I also popped up onto those rocks back there, even though rocks are kind of not my favorite thing to hit like that, the loose ones at least, because gravel and stuff, it's not very fun for me. And sometimes, you can slide out. But a lot of this is also contingent on your ability to bunny hop over curbs. Now right here, these speed bumps are super fun. You can get a lot of speed, and if you're good with your jumps and your bunny hops as well, then you can get a little bit of air on them. I mean, you're not going to go crazy far on these short ones, but you can still get enough to say, oh, hey, that was kind of fun. That was a feature. I'd like to hit that again at some point. And there's a third one right there. Oop, there it is. And that's another reason I chose this route. This first one is like green, it's beginner to intermediate, I would say, difficulty. It's very flowy. Yeah, I'm trying to compare this to an off-road trail because that's kind of the point here. Now those kind of speed bumps right there, those are awesome. And especially if you hit one that's a little steeper, you can hit that like a really short table, or tabletop, excuse me, which is really nice. And this one right here that I'm about to hit is one of my favorite jumps on my campus, because that one really is a type of tabletop as well. That one's steeper. There's another one I didn't do on this route that's my favorite, but either way, and see, a lot of these as well, you saw right there, I bunny hopped onto that curb. My gimbal just wanted to not track right here as well, and you pop right off with a little Manny, and that's kind of the trick here, is you take a route, and especially a downhill route, and you session it. It's like an extended session here, because you're not so much trail riding, and you're not really free riding. It's kind of a combination of the two, because that's about all you can do in these cities to make them as fun as possible. I set this timer as well here just to kind of give you a gauge on how long this run was. I didn't set I didn't get like a distance measurement, but I got a time measurement. If I had to estimate, I would say it's probably around half a mile, which, you know, is pretty decent, I'd say, for a city run. You know, you don't want to do 40 miles in the city or anything.
And there we go. That's a downhill run. So, you know, again, there are so many things you can put together that you can turn into features. Like these curbs, if you pop them right, you can get a little bit of airtime on them. All of this is contingent upon you being able to bunny hop well. So, because, you know, if you pop over curbs, you can really turn anything into a feature. So I'm about to do some pretty intense stairs, not right here, but the next run I've got is pretty intense. So if, you know, when you're doing this stuff, it's always more dangerous doing it on concrete, because if you fall, you don't have dirt to break your fall. You know, you're gonna hit asphalt and it's gonna be like running into a belt sander, which is why I don't really care for road biking. But, you know, if you're comfortable with doing it, then do it. Just, you know, don't go outside your comfort zone, because you'll end up getting hurt. So yeah, we're gonna hit these stairs just so I can show you the technique in hitting stairs. Because, you know, when I was first learning to do stairs, you know, even though I had ridden down quite a lot of stuff, like trail-wise, that was steep, it's just something about stairs was a bit of a mental block for me. But it's really no different. You know, it's all just kind of in your mind and in your technique. And as long as you are confident with it and you have your technique right, you know, there's not gonna be a problem at all.
Alright, so there it was at full speed, and we're going to slow it down here and just kind of talk through it. So my number one tip is to go slow your first few times. You'll see how, even though I know how to hit these stairs, I still approach the ones that, you know, I'm not so sure about, especially hitting them for the first time, pretty slow. So I'll roll up slow, and then I'll really let the hill do the speed for you. Now, you don't go too slow though, because as you'll see on the second one here, I go a lot smoother. The faster you go on stairs, the smoother the ride will be. Just make sure you keep your weight back and let the bike move under you. See how you'll notice I keep my body for the most part in the same position and let that bike move under me. That's what you got to do, and if you do that, and just stay calm and focus on where you're going, and make sure you also use your brakes on the run. Just control your speed and you'll be good to go.
So another thing you'll see in these runs is hitting stairs, popping up on curbs, and I'm doing speed bumps. Now, speed bumps are really, really great for city runs and also for helping you learn jumps. Because, you know, the same techniques can be applied to speed bumps as can like dirt jumps and tables and stuff.
Alright, so you saw there at full speed. The main thing to remember when hitting jumps like this is to watch the bottom of it. So see, I'm watching it and then I'm preloading right before, just like I would do a normal table or a bunny hop. I'm actually a little bit early here. You can see I am a little bit early. If I hit it just a second later, I would have gotten some more air though. But you're preloading, coming up with it, just like you would a normal bunny hop, and then you're landing. It really is that simple. You're just bunny hopping on an elevated surface. And the same techniques for these can be applied to stuff like that as well. Just the curbs in general, it's all the same motion really. So if you master one, you can do all of it. Pedaling on flat concrete like this as well is a good place to practice riding with no hands. Because it's a lot harder to do off-road. So that's another thing you can do, you know, when you're riding the transitions from, you know, feature to feature. If you're confident enough, work on your handless riding. There are stairs everywhere, and stairs are so fun. So you can really just ride any of these stairs over and over again. Another good thing to do is to practice more difficult entries to your stairs, like this one. And maybe switch halfway down. So we're gonna go from an intermediate to a black diamond here for our last run. I want to hit a practice run since this one can get you hurt before I actually do the whole thing. And again, if some of these features look a bit sketch for you, you know, treat them just like normal trail features. Walk them. Ooh. You know, do your pre-ride. Do what you normally do if you're going to hit a feature you're not comfortable with.
on the trail, just do it here. Yeah, these right here, you can just sail over. A little warm up right here. Ooh, all right, I'm ready now. So yeah, this whole thing is downhill too. All right, here we go.
Alright, so my second route is a lot different than the first one. The first one was really flowy and long. This one is more technically challenging and short. I really just kind of wanted to cram all the intense stairs I could into one. Basically, we have two sections that are similar to each other. This one, you can see that you can fly kind of on these, but I realized that it was actually, I didn't have enough room to brake afterwards, so I didn't want to sail. And right around here, I thought I heard something pop, like my tire. I thought I'd gotten a pinch flat or something. So I started to go really slow instead of pushing it, because I thought, you know, oh shoot, if I pop something, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to screw up my rim. So, and then I looked at it and I realized it was fine. It was hard to see on the stairs. So at that point I realized we can just keep going. So this is kind of the tranny between the first set of stairs and the second set of stairs. Now the second set of stairs is the one that I just hit in the practice run, and I think I actually did better on the practice run, but this one is still okay. Here we go on the second part here. I want to try to get more air, but I wanted to be a little bit more conservative, just to make sure, you know, just to make sure that I didn't go over the bars, because I would hate to screw something up on the second run here on the concrete. You just always got to be careful when you're doing the concrete.
And there she was, ladies and gentlemen.
And that's pretty much it for the City MTB run. Hopefully trails will open soon with social distancing restrictions, and we'll be able to go shred on some actual trails. But in the meantime, I hope this video helps those mountain bikers just get their riding fix for the remainder of quarantine. Thank you very much for watching, and if you like this video, be sure to subscribe to see more videos every Thursday. Just disregard the last month without uploads. And if you have any, leave a comment telling me your City MTB tips. And with that, I'll see you next time.